There was on a point.
Hello, Hikans, and I thank you. Hello and welcome to Walk with Mel. It's season 5. Having some fun here with the one and only Terry Sauls in the building.
Click.
Kadoom.
Wat maak ik met die
Maar zij zie. Hello. The Ghana see. So welcome to the show. It's so cool to have you here. I mean, been wanting to have you in the show, maar zij travel most. Zij was gevoel, zij gaan travel. Maar also if thank you for representing South Africa.
Ik voel ze maar nog slecht dat ik travel.
Zij moet week, man. Anyway, I want to kick off the interview with, I mean, a lot of these people that watches, obviously, and if those that don't know, I remember you, when I started dancing, you were the guy that actually took 3 titles at Dance to Vegas, locking, all styles, and popping. That was impossible. No one did it before you. No one has done it after you. So ik voel Guinness World of Records. Maar eindelijk daar zo een beetje entry.
Ik wil eigenlijk praten samen met
Ripley's, believe it or not. So that is really cool achievement. And I mean, it's obviously hard work. But I mean, let's talk about that day. I mean, if you can just take us back to that day. And also the preparation for that competition. Like, to win 3 titles in different styles, it's different characters, different feelings. Like, let's just talk about that quickly.
The preparation for that was sort of, it was normal really. Training every day from 11 to 5 at Virgin Active which was playing. There was a couple other dancers that used to train at the same venue. And a lot of us were training for Dance to Las Vegas. But it was just training every day, preparing for it, you know. And then, you know, when the comp eventually came or when it got closer, I started doubting myself. I actually started doubting myself. I was like, maybe the locking I can place.
What?
You know, maybe I didn't really, you know, I didn't plan to win because at the time I was gonna move to Josie for that period of time. So I was like, I'm gonna use that stage as an audition platform. Like, okay, Josie, this ik. As you will,
say
no. But you know, if I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. But I'm just gonna go there and do my best. And I think the first one I won was the locking.
Yeah.
It was the locking, and I was in actually in like a zone. Not in a zone as in like the comp, doing the comp, like in my zone, like ik is nog gevaarlijk. No, I was in a zone of like, I didn't really know what was going on.
Sure.
I won it, and then I came off stage. Yeah, literally everything just happened, and I sat there, and everyone, because Cape Town in Cape Town, like, everyone is sitting on the stands and whatever, and a lot of people were like, yo, you were dope, but congratulations. I'm just like, and I just sat there.
Yo.
I literally sat there like this, watching the comp and watching the people, and then and I think the popping and the All Stars finals happened the next day.
Yeah.
And it was exactly the same, you know, outcome,
vibe,
the same thing. Even a friend of mine, Nashwin, the Kramper, he was with me there, and he'd beaten me before at the competition, the December before Dance to Vegas. So he was telling me in the hotel room, he was like, nah bro, I can't fool. Say I know fire here, man. Fire, he told me. But I wasn't really paying attention to him because we talk a lot of nonsense anyway, man. So he was maybe also guessing me.
You just need to do your thing.
Yeah, he was maybe playing mind games with me, whatever. But you know, I ended up battling him and he kind of choked. He even told me, he was like, nah, you made me choke, bruh. And after winning the whole thing, it was the same situation. I won the popping, went to go sit the same. I was like, it's not that I was in disbelief. I just wasn't really, as if I wasn't there.
Ik hoor jou.
Then I won the All-Star, same thing. I sat there, I was just like, And then the prize giving, I stood there on stage, got the 3 medals and the 3 bags. I was like, I'm gonna pick it here. And then I was standing there and I looked around and I was like, something broke, man. Like something broke. Whatever bubble I was in, whatever zone broke, and I started crying. I dropped everything there. I was like, I think that's because
it's a delayed reaction amper.
It was a delayed reaction. Like, I was like, no, people gonna see me, they don't know me. I'm just standing here looking all gevaarlijk with my hand back because I don't want to see them cry. I was laying backstage there, like laying like this. Like if someone, almost like drunk, like laying there, and ik praat van snot en tranen because I was dealing with some stuff before I went up that was like hectic, very heavy.
En dan gebeur daai ook.
It was really like I was dealing with something really heavy, and you know that happened.
Somebody balance
and it was really like, it was so fruitful, man. Like the hard work paid off, even though I wasn't really
You didn't think about it that way.
I didn't think about it in that way. Like, I want to go and win everything because I'm dealing with this. The world must know my pain.
No.
It wasn't that. I didn't share my pain with anyone.
Exactly.
I just dealt with it and I danced it
amazing.
out. And apparently that's what worked.
Stunning, man. Well done.
Crazy.
Well done on
Thank
that.
you very much.
And then Tony Zaw also, he was one of the judges there, and he definitely saw potential
That was
in you.
also, I was still.
Let's just have a chat about that
I think
as well.
that was also before the
amazing.
prize giving. I was still in that bubble.
Wow.
And he took the mic and he kind of like, he gave me a lot of praise that day.
Sure.
So
he actually took the mic and spoke
He took
about
the mic, he stood on stage and he called me. Everyone was already in front of the stage because the judges were like, Kumari had said something and he was about to say something. So everyone was already like around the stage. If this was the stage, everyone was like there.
Yeah.
And he was just sort of, raising me up.
Sure.
And I was in the same way. Like I just stood there, I was like, I also didn't, to be honest, no, I don't think I was taking it in so much. I was more, like I said before, you must know, us brain men, so we have the stigma that we don't want to be seen as really good because people's gonna perceive you of your quiet, that stupidness, man. So I was thinking that, man, and I was like, nah, I don't want to be, because he's raising me up, so obviously there's gonna be people that's gonna be like, yo, Terry, too quiet, but there's also gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be
I get what you say.
He's not even from here, and you know what I mean. So I was really trying to keep myself really like DL on the down low, really like just like, oh, thank you very much. And I really didn't know how to carry myself also because everyone's looking at me. It was really a lot. I think also after that, winning that, I was also like, and I think it was just too much, and I was just like.
But also, I mean, it is an example to me and others that actually looks at you like that hard work does pay off, man. Verstaan jy? Sy kan so lank oefen en dit kan veel werk. Sy moet net
Cristiano Ronaldo is a typical example of hard work pays off.
Yeah, and then obviously,
seriously.
Ons almal begin met my errands. You started watching Michael Jackson and weet jy so begin. Let's tell us how things started for you as a dancer. Like, ek dink ons almal in die living room seker begin.
So I was about to tell you a story now, exactly the living room story.
Gesels.
Kom ons hy pajama porkie. Ons pajama jou gown aan met jou bed slippers, hy kan plakkies. Hy's net nog Michael Jackson. You know Michael Jackson Bruce Lee. Wat is Michael Jackson in die tyd man? Verstaan jy nou? So the music video, was it Studio Mix? Do you remember Studio Mix? Yeah, yo, ek voel my oud. Studio Mix. Remember the time and all these music videos that used to come on, and I remember I used to copy it, and my aunt's boyfriend at the time was kind of like a Michael impersonator vibe. So he had the cherry curl, the leather jacket, the don't touch my anklets, with the vet cozies and the Michael shoes, and when he used to come there, he used to slap a small,
so
just small. Yeah, but he never used to like to do the major things, man.
Yeah.
He never stood on his toes. He never used to want to do the moonwalk. And I used to beg him, go and do the moonwalk, please. And so now and then he used to do it, and you just stand there, 5 years old. Yo,
it's amazing.
You quiet. And at the time it was Michael, and it was also Abashante. Abashante was Arthur's first group.
Oh yeah.
The two girls, the two bald girls,
vibes.
the singer, and then the raga rapper, and then also Boom Shaka. It was that time, like
Boom Shaka.
That was Scheme. Was all the Kwaito was heavy. That's even before TKZ.
Yeah.
It's like 2-3 years before. Brenda's time. At that time, Brenda wasn't really. She was making her brand of Kwaito, but it wasn't that Arthur Mafukate.
Yes.
Kwaito, and that was for me. I was growing up to that, but obviously it was a different culture because I'm obviously brain man. I'm colored, and that's a different culture. So I like the music, I like the dancing, but I obviously didn't understand what I was really seeing because it's not happening around me. You know what I'm saying? People aren't actually doing that where I'm from, but I liked it. It influenced me to love dancing more. Because I liked Michael for Michael. So I wanted to be Michael. You know, but the Kwaito music and Kwaito and the dancing, that made me want to dance. Trompies and that music. I was like, I like this. You know, it's very South African.
Yeah, so that is really dope.
That was the main
influence from the get-go. And then obviously you guys had a crew, Faith. Wat toe voel jy? Ek sê kap gou vat. Wat jy so vinnig van daai voor as die ander goedjies touch, ja.
Daai was hier so like hy was my eerste crew in die plein in die plein. It was run by Dane van der Rede. yeah, I joined. Did a small audition. I don't remember if I did an audition, but I joined the crew. We prepared for SA Cup. Went to go do SA Cup. There was another crew, but it was a crew of all stars.
Okay.
It was literally they were like it was amazing dancers in their fields. That made a crew together. So obviously everyone was banking on them like, oh. And took us now the underdogs sliding in. We did our thing and you know, we were sitting in the crowd and like first place goes to Faith and we sitting there. Ons kyk mekaar aan.
Kan jy glo nie?
Huh?
Is dit ons?
And yeah, we won. I was like,
what?
This is crazy.
Yo.
This is so crazy. Yeah, it was on our first try. But Dane was already, he was part of the original hybrid crew.
Okay.
He was one of the founding members of the original hybrid crew. So, and he choreographed everything. So, you know, it's not that much of a surprise if you think about it in hindsight that we won.
Because he was doing stuff already.
Yes, he'd already been educated. He'd already known what was required and the skill level. Obviously, we trained for it, you know, because physically we weren't at that level yet. But he trained us to get to that level and compete.
And then you obviously moved to the Novatio.
That happened in the same time. That happened late Feb.
And what happened? Like, what was it more like training there for you?
Yeah,
or like
Renovatio Dance Company. I hosted a production called Walking in the Footsteps of Legends. Prior to that, I'd done a production called Temple of Hip Hop. 2007 and 8. Or 8, I think. So it was a template that they used where they train the dancers that audition, whoever makes it to the production. They train them in specific styles for about, I think, 2 or 3 months. You do choreography also, but it's like you do one style. You do all the styles, like
to get an understanding.
Yeah, to get an understanding before they start with choreography. And that's where I learned the foundations, the theory, and the technicality of these styles. Some of these styles I'd been doing on my own already, but I didn't know, you know, your popping Pete's and your electric boogaloo's and your Don Campbell's and, you know, Brian Greens and Ejos. I didn't know who these people were at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I learned all these things, the basis of. And then, you know, I met Yakin there, and he was like my coupling. We became, because he loved in Mrs. Plain also, but also he was watching the same stuff I was watching.
So the interest was the same.
The interest was the same. We got some documents also, like of some styles or locking, and then we decided like, okay, we're gonna actually go and look up what the stuff is. We're gonna go watch videos and tutorials and stuff like that. And Yakin is ook many oog.
Yes.
We see something like, yo, I saw this thing, you know, and we used to work together like that. And we did duos together, and it spawned from there. It started from there, and we learned the styles from there. We sort of like we took it further in our own. You know, that was the beginning.
That's the beginning, and it's so cool because I know a lot of people, like a lot of other countries, like even traveling, they get people over, man. But we, was it the alle die mense wat vir ons hier kon help? Like you guys literally had to watch stuff, to understand
That's
stuff.
The only
you know
way.
what I'm saying?
Plus, we don't have internet access. Wasn't
so
really amazing. Or at the time, we had internet. We always had it. You know what I'm saying? When it became a popular thing.
But
it wasn't easily accessible.
Yes.
So you know, I mean, your BlackBerry is a tube. Julle lag. I know, hulle lag.
Hulle ken die tube.
Julle ken vir clink, julle, yeah. You know it. We heard at the competitions back that time.
So waar hy begin?
Clink.
Abidel, hier kom het.
Hier kom ons maar net so 'n tube by die mix.
Is it not tight? Then let's touch on a few highlights of your career. Obviously mixing it up. How Spotify does that too quickly? Can you just tell us more about that?
Mixing it up also happened in 2012. That was a production hosted by Heal the Hood and the British Council. They were together in that thing. It was supposed to be where the dance, also similar to the Renovatio thing, but different in this respect, where we learned African styles and South African styles of traditional dance and you know, local indigenous dances. And to mix that with hip hop to create a completely different identity. Not okay, I'm popping and then I'm doing stuff. No, like if you're gonna pop, you do it like make something completely new. You know, create a different identity. That's what that was about. We went to Josie. It was like a little mini tour. We did. I think we did two shows here. and 2 shows there, like a matinee and an evening. And
nice.
Yeah, that was really a dope
cool,
experience.
because the thing is, it's quite to listen to your story. It's moving, you're moving.
Yeah.
Like our Spotify, is it your first movie that you did?
Yeah, that was the same year as well.
Same
That
year?
happened. I think it was October of 2012.
As a dancer, you were
Yeah, that
one
was
of the core
my
dancers.
Yeah, I was a co-dancer in that movie. That was my first movie as well.
So
that was
cool.
dope choreography. It's always dope to be able to, I think, you know, as a dancer, whether you're a battle dancer, freestyle dancer, studio dance or whatever, I think it's always good to be able to nurture your skills and your abilities to be able to do more than one thing.
Yes.
Because it just makes you better as an artist overall. You have
And
so much more to offer.
More hireable as well.
Yes, definitely.
And then let's just touch on you being SK.
SK, yeah.
Volgens Kramp, I mean, you don't just do one style like you just said. How did that happen for you?
That was actually I met a guy named Raphael, Young Wave. I think it was beginning of 2012.
Just open me your dates, no?
Yeah, chronological order. Baie belangrijk.
Oh, no, thank you.
But anyway, I met him. I became his student.
Okay.
And after that, because he's the student of Tight Eyes, who's the creator of Kramp. Yeah. And him along with the organizers of Masters of Rhythm brought down Tight Eyes to host Tight Eyes and Kid Eyes to host the European Buck Session qualifier. And Tight Eyes came to Cape Town. He did a workshop here, and I was part of Royal Fam Kings at the time, and they took them out. We took them out to see some places in Cape Town, and had a mini session with him. Did the workshop. Went to Josie. I placed second. Nashwin was also part of RFK at the time. He won. He went to go and represent South Africa. And then Raphael had a discussion with Tight Eyes and asked him like, can he create a Street Kingdom South Africa branch? And then Tight Eyes put him on. He put Script on. He put Yogi Buck on, and he put Kent on.
Yeah.
And then Raf put myself on, Nashwin and Adam.
That's so cool.
And Locks. And Locks came later as well.
And the reason why I like the way just for people, man, there's kids watching as well, man. It's so cool to see that your story was begin. Bestaan ze in die living room bijvoorbeeld. But look at the stuff that you achieve, because it shows that it's hard work. So you're planning and the last one that I want to touch on before we wrap the show, the last one I want to touch on is the fact that you got a role as an actor sommer on Honey 3, baby. You sommer got an acting role. Tell us about that, man.
That was crazy.
Dope.
I actually did that. I was
really?
The acting audition.
Yeah.
Because we had to submit it. I was living in Pretoria at the time. So I had to submit my audition via video, the dance and the acting. So I did the dance one, filmed it, edited, and edited was late at night. So I was like, and then my girlfriend at the time, she was like, no, do the acting one. Don't be stupid, man. Just do it. It's like tailor made for you and whatever. I don't listen to it. And anyway, we ended up doing it, and I'm making guy this like a beanie sideways because the brother's supposed to be a gangster. So I'm doing all this corny gangster stuff, Hello. And stupid stuff, man, being corny, whatever. But eventually, I got.
And it's so cool because when I watched it, I was like, surreal. That is an acting, man.
Yeah.
It is like.
I suppose like with Kramp, I used because in Kramp we use a lot of characterization.
Yeah.
And because Kramp is a dance from the ghetto, from the hood. So I kind of personified that. I brought that to life in the character. So that made it I won't say easy, because it's not easy to act. You know what I mean? Nothing that you have to do really that's qualities is easy, but.
But you could use
I
certain
could
elements.
use that. I think that came out naturally. It wasn't even something that I had to.
Because you've been doing it for
I've been doing it. So, and also, they put the fake tattoos on. So when I'm getting dressed in the trailer, you look in the mirror and you automatically start to feel that. Like you're like, okay, your eyes start to drop. You kind of, okay, and you don't smile too much on set, even though everyone's your friends, everyone's your peers. You still keep your character, whatever.
That is so cool.
You know what I'm saying? It's
just, but when you're done, you're out of it. Ik sien zij nog steeds. Hallo, tomorrow gloe.
Everything alright?
You must believe. And then obviously all artists here. I just want to touch on 2 questions quickly before we have to leave. The artists here in Cape Town, we all face challenges. Like, what do you think challenges do we face, or you as an artist here in Cape Town? You. The end is random. You don't buy steaks.
I think, right now, it's a lot more easier. It's a lot easier. A lot more easier. Engels is a bit sideways. I think it's really just not giving up. You know, it's really just not giving up. There's a lot of people that, you know, especially as artists, some people, they feel like they're not earning enough money. You know, they want certain things, which is understandable. I totally understand if you want a car and you want all these things, you want it at a certain time. So you're like, I'm not getting that money from dancing. I need to do something else to supplement, you know, that income. But do not stop your craft and your art. That's very important. It's very important. You will make that breakthrough. It's actually guaranteed. I've seen it around myself. I've seen it. I've seen where Mel started, and I see where Mel is now. There's breakthrough. I'm being interviewed by Mel Rock. Nelson, you know what I'm saying? There's so like all my peers. I've seen them from, you know, looking nut. Like 2010, 2009. Some people already know at the level in terms of knowing themselves and you know how to present themselves, but a lot of us were still nut. Still suckling, living at parents' houses and stuff like that. Some are still, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make, is that you grow, man, as long as you don't give up. And there's so many artists that I know, whether it be rapping, DJing, breaking, stand-up dancing, choreographers, actors, good comedians, dancers that became comedians, dancers that were comedians but you didn't know, you know, guys that they have affinity for certain things but you don't know where they are. Now they're doing MCing, they're MCs, like, you know, master of ceremonies, hosting events, and also being comedians part-time. You know, I think it's also as you get older you start to realize where you fit into your slot kind of thing, you know. But it's just not, I believe, just don't give up. There's like, I know other guys they're gonna give you like a whole lot of, you know, the political side of it, like, you know, as artists we have to stand together, and you know, like it's very difficult to stand together. That's just the reality. We all have things to do, and that's what it is. You just have to accept it and deal with it. But I believe strongly the most important thing is don't give up.
Love it you said that. Then how can people support you? I mean, on social media, how can they subscribe to any pages?
Yeah, definitely. My page on YouTube is Terry Sauls, you know. My page on Facebook is Terry Sauls aka Hound, and then you can follow me on Instagram at kingtime_official, and then also my account number is 5
Ben, kyk hier hy gesig. Dis ek kan act. Dis ek kan act. Ek voel like ek heb nog 'n movie gegee, want die word jy can act is te veel. I mean, and then just the last thing that I want to just check with you, where do you find inspiration for your dancing? Because I know, I mean, we didn't touch on half of the stuff that I wanted to touch on. You also choreography, you've done great stuff on music videos, and you've choreographed for Chan that I was grateful to do with you as well. I mean, there's a lot of things
you were grateful, so you're not grateful anymore.
Because it's in the past.
Okay,
Engels Afrikaans, bietjie moeilik. So where do you find inspiration for your dancing? Like, where do you find inspiration?
Before it was escapism. Like I was like 14, 15 years old, so it was kwaad, like alles maak my kwaad. So I was cramping, kwaad. I was angry. You know, I was dancing and trying to get away from that, you know, all those issues. And later on, it became different. You know, I think when I turned about after the Vegas thing, that's when it changed, because in that from 14 to 21 I was dealing with stuff. So I was using that pain and that anger and the negativity to fuel my dancing. That's what inspired me the most in terms of the drive. I was driven. I was really driven. I was driven. I wasn't eating as much as I should have been.
Maar it
was difficult, but you know, I was still pushing. And you know, in terms of the dancing, the actual physical dancing, obviously tight eyes, you know, Skeeter Rabbit, Mr. Wiggles, B-Boy Born from Korea, Ken Swift from Rocksteady Crew. I used to like watching old videos. Also Kaba Modern, that did America's Best Dance Crew season 1. Obviously Jabberwockies. When you play enough cool,
with your facial.
You needed it. I didn't dance that way though, but I was influenced by it. I was definitely inspired by them. Who else was there? You know, I think that's really, for the most part, those are the guys that really inspired me to do what I do. There's obviously other guys that I like, that I was inspired by. P-Lock was one of them, with the Lockers. You know, Salah was also one of them, but you know, the guys that I mentioned first initially, those were like,
that was the first.
Those are the people that's like, I prize, like that's my prize. Like I look to them, like these are the guys that got me to learn what I learned.
Understanding
and
wise
understanding
as well.
because
Yeah.
I didn't really have teachers. You
Yeah.
know? After Renovatio, that's where it ended. No one
Yeah.
else, you know, and then
Ze moet maar zelf geleerd, ja.
because,
Ja.
exactly.
Yeah.
Self leren.
Sure, man.
We had one guy, J-Rock, came at one point, 2012 I think, did a workshop, taught basics, and
Yeah.
then obviously DJ Renegade, Kev from the UK, veteran OG. He came down in 2012 again. He's
Sure.
been here like I think 5 or 6
Yeah.
times. Like I
So
think
you
he wants to move here.
They find my oral inspiration.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah,
man,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so cool. And thank you for sharing your journey here with us on a walk with Mel. We do appreciate it. Ik voel ons eindelijk nog een episode doen met jou. Volgens aan een goede series. But you must not traveling the world, and we're so happy for you to see on a real. We're really happy.
Traveling the world.
We're traveling the world, and it's good to see that our people are doing big things, man. Because it inspires us here at home to also just strive to be and do that. So keep on doing your thing. Brother T is in the building. We're signing out here. That's it from us on a walk with Mel. Yo, Pel, and the one and only Terry Sauls. Yay!